open it now. This is a big caldera of the old volcano.
Maybe do a plan. You don't have to wait for me. I know where I am.
I was doing a panoramic, but whatever.
You're doing a panoramic?
Look at this. We have a fumarole. Okay, so this is one of the volcanic features that I've been talking about. Essentially what you've got is a pool of water where you've got the lava right underneath it, and it is sending up the boiling water and steam out through these vents. This water is about 100 degrees Celsius, which is 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which is boiling. So I wouldn't recommend washing your hands or going swimming or anything like that. But you can see, like, this is there's in these features all over this hike, and we are essentially standing in the middle of a lava field that's just under my feet.
When it snows in August?
My glasses are getting wet.
Okay.
ski erg.
Go.
Few places along the Laugavegur Trail display such a striking contrast as the green mountains and black sand plains, as you can see here. This dramatic landscape has been shaped by volcanic eruptions, glaciers, and flowing water. Most of the green mountains are composed of palagonite tuff, a volcanic rock created by eruptions beneath the glaciers during the Ice Age. Over time, moss and other hardy plants have gradually colonized their slopes. The black sands are made of loose volcanic ash and sediment carried by glacial rivers. Constant wind, flowing water, and shifting sand make it difficult for vegetation to take root. Sandstorms are common, and their effects are visible where wind-blown sand has worn away plant cover. So, you see that glacier back there? And one of the things that I want to show you guys today is that we're looking at climate change in action. And you can actually tell how far the glacier has receded by looking at some of the features that you're seeing. So when you are looking out and you can see that flat, gray, rocky area with the river running through it, that's called an outwash plain. Outwash plains are formed where the glacier stops and you can see the river braiding through that, depositing material from the glacier. That first gray ridge is called a terminal moraine. And so that terminal moraine is old, it's been there for a while, and you can see that there's some green growth on top of it, but since it's at the base of that outwash plain, that's how you know that it is the terminal moraine. That is the furthest extent of its advance. And if you go just beyond the terminal moraine, there is another gray ridge there. And that gray ridge is called an end moraine. So the glacier receded and then stopped and then tumbled a whole bunch of material like a conveyor belt and then built up that ridge, and then it has receded beyond there. So we're looking at least 1,000 meters or a kilometer of recession due to the changing climate.
No rep.
Welcome. Today we've got a perfect example of the different types of lava chemistry that I've been talking about. One of the things that you see with this particular outcrop is that red layer right there. That's called felsic lava. And then on top of it, you've got mafic lava. It's a really unique situation. Felsic lava tends to have a lot more silica, and that increases the amount of viscosity. And so it doesn't flow very well. It tends to explode, comes out in the form of cinders. And then on top of it, you've got mafic lava, and that has a lot lower amount of silica, and it's a lot darker, has a lower viscosity. It tends to flow out a lot more flat. So the combination of these two creates a specific type of volcano that if you were a kid, you would draw it and it would be the triangle with fire coming out of the top of it. But because of this, it came out underneath a glacier. When it came in contact with the ice, it immediately melted and went sideways and blew its stack up out the top of the hole. And so what you're seeing here is kind of like the flood channels that are carving into there, and then you've got the that lava kind of going into the flood channels. And so that red and that black on top of it is created kind of like a layer cake effect. And if that builds up over time, eventually the volcano will stop erupting, and pressure builds and builds and builds, and it forms a magma chamber underneath, and that magma chamber will build up pressure, and then finally explode. And so we have one of the largest calderas in Europe very close to here. This is related to that system.
Rock thrusters. Box step-ups.
One.
Welcome to a braided riverbed. This is a glacial feature that's really common at the base of glaciers. There's so much material that's being eroded and pulverized by the glacier that it all comes down, and as the glacier is melting, it's carrying all of that material with it. Now, because there's so much material in the water doesn't look clear at all. When you're looking at the water, you can see that it is carrying such a cement-like load of silt, and when it piles up, it actually starts to form kind of like a sludge that resembles like real-life quicksand. So one of the things that's happening here is that as the river is flowing, you've got all of the sediment that's being carried along by the river, and that's being deposited on the base of these streams. And as it's being deposited, builds up, and then what happens is the stream will spill off to the side, and that is a chaotic process that pretty much just spreads all of the sediment all over this place, and that's what gives it its braided nature. Now when you look around, you can see how flat everything is here, and that is being spread by these braided river channels, and they actually have to move those bridges that you're seeing around to cover up and try to get to the new places where the bridges are going to, where the streams are going to be. Now if you come and look over here with me, this is the consistency of the sediment that's being pulverized by the glacier. And you can see it is like all volcanic rock, but that's like there's the class size of this is very, very small, and this will actually carry all the way down to the ocean.
Okay, you ready?
One.
The volcanoes here are some of the most active volcanoes in Iceland. We have Katla, which is one of the most dangerous volcanoes in Europe, and Eyjafjallajökull, which is also its little brother. And when these guys erupt, they both have ice caps on top of them, and the eruption melts the water from underneath and actually lifts up the glacier. And the outburst floods that come, the Jökull, rush down these valleys and cut these massive undercut banks all the way through the valleys. You can see the level of the water that's flowing through here. It's hard to even imagine how much water is coming out. the meters, the cubic meters of water that's coming out here is, it's hard to match anywhere on Earth from these types of floods. They're incredibly, titanically gargantuan events.